did. And we are live. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? I am joined by Jasmin. I don't know your last name.
I'm going by Jasmin Alexia.
Jasmin Alexia. She is here with us today. Do you have anything you'd like to say to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Jasmin. I write death. That's how I always introduce myself. So I'm not going to switch it up.
Nice. And you said you're working... What was that?
I said it's simple, but it describes everything.
I would say I write love. So we're like two sides battling it out. So you said that you're working on not a new novel for Nano. You're continuing or rewriting.
Yes.
Cool. What's your story about, if you don't mind sharing?
It's about a family of 4 where the father, aka the husband, kills the guests because they run a family bed and breakfast, but the rest of them don't know, and then the wife, aka mom, finds out. And I can't say any more without spoiling it all.
That makes sense. That sounds like it would have a lot of spoilers, but that sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
Is it like more of a suspense or like horror?
More probably horror, and then towards the end it could fall more under suspense, but it's most likely just horror.
Cool. I've never written anything horror. I've always wanted to give it a shot, but I've also never really read any true horror novels, so I should probably do that before I try to write one.
Yeah, my next novel will probably be high fantasy, so I'm definitely going to switch it up. But I need to read more of that before I write, because right now, primarily all I read is horror.
Really? What's like your favorite horror novel?
Horror novel? Oh my gosh. Maybe It?
Yeah. I've seen half of the old movie and I really liked the new one, so I want to read that book, but I think I'm gonna wait until the next movie comes out so I can watch that first and then read the book. So
the book's about 1,000-something pages long. Everybody tells me I'm psycho because I read it in a week.
Wow. That's pretty
impressive. It took them like a month to read, but I just couldn't put it down. So
yeah. Have you seen the movies?
I like the books better, but that's pretty much how I am all the time.
Yeah. That's pretty typical. They have, I mean, you can't really do as much with a movie as you can with a book.
Yeah. Not as much detail or anything.
Yeah. Got a couple people in the chat tonight. And I think... What was that?
What's your favorite romance book?
Oh, boy. I don't know if I have a favorite, really. Like, I don't know if I have... I've read a lot of books that I guess would be considered romance, like YA romance, but none of them are like... They're all good, but they're not like worthy of being a favorite, I feel like, if that makes sense. Like Pride and Prejudice, I guess, would be my go-to answer for that, but like I like Sarah Dessen's books a lot, and Morgan Matson, but I don't know if I'd really say any of their books are my favorite. My favorite book series would probably be The Hunger Games, and I do really like the romance in that series, but it's not really like a romance novel. So But I do love me some PETA and cats.
My favorite book in general is about the Zodiac Killer. It's called Searching for My Father and Finding the Dangerous Animal of All or something. I'm not really sure what it's called, which is terrible because it's like my favorite book of all time. But yeah, that's my favorite. But it's not really horror, it's more suspense and nonfiction. So
yeah. That's cool. I'm just trying to check something. So I think we should start our first sprint at 05, and
okay.
we'll go for 15 minutes and then chat a little bit more. Just checking in the chat. Sky says she's found she has an easier time listening to Stephen King's audiobooks rather than reading the physical copies. I think that's what I'm planning to do when I read it, because it's just so long and I don't really read a whole lot, because when I have time to like sit down and read, I usually would rather write. So, but I can listen to lots of audiobooks at work, so I'll probably go that route.
Reading. If you don't ever listen to audiobooks, at least listen to the Stephen King ones if you want to read his books but don't have time for the books, because they're so long. And his books are really, really long.
Yeah. I do really like, I'd never listened to audiobooks before, but I started listening to them recently and I actually really like it. I always kind of I didn't know, I don't know. I had some weird stigma about it in my head, but I've been enjoying it because I'm a housekeeper, so I'm cleaning houses all day, so it's perfect time to just listen to a book.
See, I had a fear that I wouldn't comprehend it all as much because I'd just be listening to it and not physically reading it. But I haven't had a problem.
Yeah, I feel like I learn more as a writer when I'm physically reading a copy, because I can't really like get as into like the beauty of the words themselves. I just kind of like enjoy the story. But all right, it is 6:05 in my land, so let's get started. We will, if I can find my clock. There we go, and start. Alright. That is time. How did you do?
I don't know. I have to highlight the selection and wait for Google Docs to load to tell me.
Let me see. I got 410.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's pretty high for me for a first sprint. Usually they're a lot slower than that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like my first and last sprints are always the slowest, and then if I just have a slow scene in general.
Yeah.
But I got 220 this time.
Cool. Good job. We got lots of people in the comments now. The Happy Booktuber, Britt, Amber, and Autumn. Autumn got 89 words. Good job. How'd your hair turn out, Amber? She was dyeing her hair when I was talking to her a minute ago. We shall see. The anticipation. Dana got 383. Good job. And Amber says she loves her hair. Good. That's always nice. That's always better than the alternative.
Yes.
I've certainly had a few of those.
I've never actually dyed my hair and not liked it. I've also only dyed my hair 2 times, and both times have been the same color. So,
oh yeah? What color was it?
Red.
That was my first time I dyed my hair. I did it red, but I really wanted it to be like really bright red, but like it didn't turn out that way at all. It was more of like a maroonish.
Yeah, mine too, because my hair is so dark I have to lighten it. I don't bleach it because I don't want to lighten it. But I thought it was light enough and it wasn't, so it kind of just turned out pretty dark. Definitely darker than I wanted it to, but at least I know for next time.
Yeah, mine was weird because I got like box dye and my mom did it. I think I was like 16 at the time. And it like I can't remember which way it was. I think it was like the roots like really took the color and then the rest of it just did not. And it just looked like kind of faded, and we ended up, I think we did it like once or twice, and then I ended up just having to go to a salon and pay to have it done professionally. So yeah, didn't turn out super well.
Yeah,
But once I had what? Oh, I was just gonna say once I had it done like by a real person, it was good. It wasn't the color I wanted it to be, but it was kind of like the color of my lips almost, and it was still nice. But
see, I do mine on my own because I have curly hair, and I just don't trust people with my hair. So all the times I've dyed my hair, I've done it myself. I've never had an issue besides just not getting it light enough.
Yeah.
It takes a really long time, but at least I know my hair's not getting damaged.
Yeah, definitely. I've never had to really lighten my hair. Like I've highlighted it, but I've never had it lightened really until this last time when I got it done. It's like pretty blonde now. It's faded by now, but it was like even lighter, and I do not like the way my hair feels, so I'm never doing that again. I'm waiting for it to grow out. It's kind of like this is all natural. You can't even really tell. It's pretty close.
Yeah, not much of a difference.
Yeah. just waiting for it
See,
to
my hair
grow
is
out so it'll be
naturally
healthy.
my hair is naturally jet black.
Oh
So
yeah.
after my red is faded out, it's kind of like a light brown. So I
Mm.
definitely like it way better light brown than I do black.
Yeah.
But my roots have grown out so much, so I think I'm gonna lighten my roots again.
Mm. Dana has a question. She says, I have a scene involving children. They have been tortured and it must be told to get my MC to really take action. All right. I'm not sure what the question is. Oh, do I have
Yeah.
the children describe their torture or just hint at what happened to them? I would say that depends
Probably.
on your age range target. If it's like an adult novel, then I would say you can be as descriptive as you want, really. It just depends on what kind of tone you want this scene to have. If you want it to be more like really emotionally impactful, then it might be good to get more descriptive. But if it's like a young adult novel and, I don't know, you might want to be tread carefully, I guess, with that. What do you think, Jasmine?
I say it depends on the children's age. If they're like if they're a teenager, then I think they'll be able to probably describe it better. But I think
Mm.
if they're younger than that, they'll probably have issues just from personal experience and not want to really share. They'll probably just want to hint at it.
Yeah,
So for
that's
realistic
true.
reasons, I feel if they're younger, you should just hint at it because kids tend to normally just cry when you ask them and just be able to tell you little things.
Hmm.
So they definitely will not be able to tell you like the full details of what happened.
Yeah, I watched a show recently. I don't know if you've heard of The Haunting of Hill House. It's on
Mhm.
Netflix right now, and there was a like social worker talking to a child who was telling this story about seeing like this monster guy in the basement, and like the show is kind of a horror show, so there are ghosts and stuff. So the lady kind of thought maybe it
Mhm.
actually was a real monster, but it turned out to be that that's like where her father was like molesting her, and she saw like a face kind of in the grains of the wood on the ceiling and just made up in her mind like this story of the monster because she couldn't like handle what was actually happening. So I
Yeah.
think something like that
Mhm.
might be more realistic than having a kid just be able to like full out
Yeah.
describe what happened to them.
And I applaud that show for making it realistic because a kid definitely that is
Yeah.
definitely something they would do.
Yeah, it's a really good show. I'm only on like episode 4 right now, but it's fantastic so far. All right, we can start another sprint in a minute or so, I guess, at the
Okay.
half-hour mark.
For how long?
15 minutes again, if that's
Okay.
all right with you, of course.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine
All
with
right.
however long. I got all night.
All righty.
I don't sleep, so. Are we starting at 30?
Yes. So hard to keep up with the chat while you're talking. It's very distracting.
Especially because like the YouTube chat is lagged between our physical chat,
Yeah.
so it's like you have to remember what you were talking about.
Yeah. All right. It is 6:30, so let's go. Alright, that is time. I got 259 that time.
Good job. I got, let's see. Google Docs always wants to be slow when I go for my workout. 232.
Nice.
So I got more than last time. Do you add your word count into NaNoWriMo as you sprint, or do you do it collectively at the end of the day?
I usually do it in a group, not always at the end of the day. Sometimes I'll do like my morning session in the morning, and then whatever I get in the evening I'll do later. But I haven't updated anything yet today, I don't think. So it'll be one big chunk.
I update mine at the end of every sprint just so I can keep track of my workout for the day.
That's a really good idea, actually. I didn't know about there's like a spot where you can say that you're doing a writing sprint and like put in the amount of time you spent and how many words. I didn't even know that was a thing until recently. So I haven't done that yet. It's like too much to keep track of for me. So I just do it at the end. But it would be nice to know in the future. That's why it's nice. Sorry, go ahead.
I just put bold or in a different color during each sprint so I can easily tell.
Yeah, I have like I highlight the last word of whatever I wrote so I know where I left off. But I like vlogging and like doing sprints like this because then I can go back later and see like what patterns were most productive and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. I've never done any vlogging until like this month. I started vlogging for NaNoWriMo, and I feel like it's going to be really nice like in the years to come to go back and see like what I learned and which days I was more productive and why, because you don't always really notice in the moment like, oh, I was really productive today and it was because of this. But if you go back, you can see like every day that I woke up early, I got a lot more done, or stuff like that.
I tend to write more at night. That's the pattern I've noticed. So like 4 p.m. and later, I normally write a whole lot more than if I try to write beforehand.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know.
Yeah, I think for me, the thing I've noticed the most so far is just that, like, getting up in the morning, I guess just splitting it into 2 chunks is better than trying to do like a whole 1,700 words in one sitting. So if I do at least like a couple hundred in the morning, it makes it easier later.
I write mine down as well. So I say I have to write 417 words 4 times a day to hit at least the nano word count goal.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Do you have a job, or are you in school or something?
Yeah, I'm in school. I'm homeschooled. So
cool.
I can work around to like when there's live streams and stuff. But I already have my school done by 4, so I think that's probably why I get a lot more writing done. But I do have like ELA, so I write during that time too.
That's really awesome that you're homeschooled. I was homeschooled too. I think it's a great thing. Do you like it?
Yeah. Yes, I really do. I've been homeschooled, I don't even know how many years now because I'm working ahead. So 6th grade was my last grade in physical school, but I'm supposed to be in 9th grade now, but I'm in 10th, and I'm graduating at 15.
Wow.
So that's another thing I really like about homeschooling. So after I'm done school, I can just go to a physical job and
Yeah.
then write,
That's awesome.
or maybe start college early if I can.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. I was gonna do that and then I just didn't. But I could have if I wanted to, but I
My
got a
sister
little
is
lazy.
driving age, so I'll be graduated school before I can even get my permit.
That's funny.
So I don't want to start college until I get my driver's license.
Yeah, that makes sense. Are you planning to go to college? Do you want to go
Yeah,
somewhere near
I want
home
to go
or?
to Michigan State
Oh, okay.
is where I
Is
want to
that
go.
close to you or is that somewhere you'll be going away or?
No, Google Maps it. I believe it's like 11 hours. Hold on.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool.
But I looked up the top rated schools for what I wanted to go to,
Mhm.
and that's the one I like the most. It's a 12-hour and 34-minute drive with no traffic.
Wow. That's cool. So it's not like crazy far if you wanted to come
Yeah,
home for like holidays or whatever. So that's
yeah.
cool. What are you planning to study? Writing or something else?
No, I want to. I've always loved kids,
Hmm.
so I have to go for psychology, early childhood education, and business, I believe, because I want to own a daycare.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep,
My
and then
best
I want
friend
to
is,
continue to write on the side.
yeah, that's nice. My best friend has talked about wanting to open a daycare. I don't know if she's going to do it now though, because her husband makes enough money that she doesn't have to work. So she'll probably just be a mom now.
Yeah,
But I,
I've loved kids my whole life, so
yeah, that's
I've
awesome.
had my mind on that for a while.
That's cool. I studied psychology in college too, but not like kid stuff specifically. So
My mom said psychology was her favorite subject in college.
mine too. I love it. All right, let's start another sprint at 55.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, my mom is texting me about Smallville. She just started watching it recently, and I am dying because I love that show. I just want her to know all the things that happen, and I can't spoil anything.
That's the hard thing. Oh my gosh, I can't watch shows when they're popular because there's too many spoilers. So
Yeah.
I just wait till it's not popular anymore and I forget all the spoilers and then I start the show.
Yeah, I have that problem a lot with Supernatural because I love the community of like Supernatural fans, but I haven't been
Hmm.
caught up on that show like ever. I've always been like several seasons behind, so I've given up trying. I just know like everything that happens, so it's still fun.
I'm very upset that Coca-Cola. I just see you drink Coca-Cola. Um, that's my favorite drink. One of my
Me
favorite drinks.
too.
I'm very upset they didn't put the polar bear on it this year.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. That's sad.
I noticed it because it was my first Coca-Cola of the season because I've been trying to just drink water and I just had my first Coca-Cola of the season I almost said last year. Wow, I know words. Last and I was very upset because there wasn't a polar bear on it and they just can't switch up things like that because they've had the polar bear on there for forever.
That is sad. I was excited that they were Christmassy, but I didn't think about it. Dang
I
it,
think they need to have
Coca-Cola.
both because it's cool, but like you can't switch things up. Like especially since it's been for like years. Like it hasn't even been just a 1 year thing.
Yeah. All right, it's 6:55. So, starting now.
15 minutes again?
Alright, that's time. Let's see how we did. $261 for me.
Nice. I got $146, but it was a pretty slow scene.
Yeah, mine was kind of slow too, but I'm really, really excited about this scene. It's like the biggest moment of the story, and it's very fun to write. So I'm having a great time.
That's always good. Like, the fastest, no, I shouldn't say the fastest. The best parts, I should say, I guess, in your novel and everything, you always write like 1,000 times faster.
Yeah. This one, like, it's all flowing really well, but it's like a really, really intense scene, and like you said, yours is it's like a really slow scene, so I kind of have I can't write, like, I really get in my head a lot when I write. I mean, I'm sure most people do, so I can't write those scenes very quickly because I'm pausing when they're pausing, and I just get in the mood of it all. But that's okay. It doesn't have to be fast.
Right.
Now, I forget, have you done NaNoWriMo before?
Yes, I did last year. Is this your first year?
Yes, it is. Oh, Sky got over 20K. Just hit over 20K. Not like she just wrote that much. That would be insane. That was a good 15 minutes. Dana says she's seen 2 people today drop out of Nano. Have you guys seen anyone call it quits already? I haven't seen anybody quit yet. I mean, I'm definitely not quitting, but I'm a little bit less like gung ho about it, I guess. Like, I'm kind of more like, if I get 50K, that'd be cool, but I'm also just excited to be being productive at all. So, although I will say that that tune kind of changed when I realized I was only 1,300 words behind. Then I was like, oh, I thought I was like really behind. So if I'm only 1,300 words behind, I can still catch up pretty easily. So.
Are we gonna do another sprint?
Yeah, I think we can do at least one more. I think one more is probably good for me.
Do you want to do this as a wrap up?
Yeah, I think that would probably be best.
Okay.
If that's all right with you?
Yes, that's perfectly fine. I'm just reading the chats. They're like all coming in at 1 second.
Yeah. Yeah, there are definitely a lot of people who aren't doing Nano and don't really like it or want to do it. I personally was not really that into the idea when I first heard about it. I thought it was a little bit like, I think a lot of people who don't like it don't quite understand it though, because I hear a lot of people saying like, oh, like it's so much pressure to put on yourself and you're going to just be writing garbage because you're so focused on the word count. But if you actually watch the videos people make, like, pretty much nobody seems to be putting a lot of pressure on themselves. Everybody's pretty Like, oh well, I didn't write anything today, and that's all right. So,
Right.
we're just having fun. I don't think anybody's being. I mean, maybe not anybody. I'm sure there are some people who are crazy about it, but I don't know. For me, I think it was mostly the benefit has been just like learning so much about myself and what works and what doesn't work, and some things I thought I knew about myself and how I write, I was a little bit wrong and realized I can do things that I didn't think I would be able to do. So that's always good to know.
My favorite part about Nano is just the community. Like,
Yeah.
the 50,000 word goal isn't even like the reason I do it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I really do it for the community. Like, not even working on a first draft, and I still wanted to do it because I just love the community.
Yeah, that was definitely a big factor for me. Actually, like kind of the only reason I decided to do it. Now I'm like excited about getting 50,000 because I'm just competitive with myself. But when I first decided to do it, it was pretty much just because I'm really new to the AuthorTube community, and I was like, this is the perfect time to like get to know tons of new people and do a bunch of
Yeah.
live streams and all this, you know, community stuff. So it's really nice. All right, we want to do our final sprint at 20.
Yes.
One more 15 minutes, and then we'll head out of here.
Yeah, I love being able to meet other self-publishing authors.
Yeah, it is nice for sure. It's very reassuring, I guess, to know there's so many other people out there like dealing with the same stuff you're doing.
Are you going to be trying to self-publish or indie publish or traditionally publish?
Well, I already self-published my first novel on Amazon with Create Space, so I'll probably be doing that again. Although I feel like for this next book, I want to go the same route with. I don't think Create Space is. I think they like merged with KDP now, but whatever. I'm probably gonna go with
Yeah,
them. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with them again for this next book because it's a sequel, so I want to make sure they're really cohesive and like look the same and stuff. But I think after that I might go with Ingram Spark, and I also might change like my cover artists and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm kind of all in on self-publishing, I think. I just don't really see a whole lot of benefit of traditionally publishing anymore these days.
Yeah, I'm gonna indie publish.
Hmm. It seems like, I mean, I don't know. There are definitely benefits, but a lot of the things that nowadays with the internet, and I just think a lot of things are kind of going that direction, and there's not as much of a benefit anymore to waiting years to get a novel out through traditional publishing. So,
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, when I first started writing, I queried to maybe 5 publishers,
mhm.
and I got a response back almost immediately. But they tried to get me to switch my genre over and pretty much try to switch my whole story. So I
Yeah,
just kind of took a break to do research on my other options.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah. The thing, I don't like how I would not be happy with not having creative control over like the cover and the title and the price of the book and stuff. Like I
Yeah.
just like to have control. I'm an entrepreneur anyway. Like in my everyday life with my cleaning business, and
Mhm.
like everything I do is kind of, that's just my personality. So it kind of just made sense for me to go that route.
When I first started, I only knew about traditionally publishing. So
Hmm.
after they kind of tried to make me switch over, that's when I found out about self-publishing and indie publishing and everything.
That's great that you found that out. I queried some agents with my first book. I think I knew that self-publishing was a thing, but at that time I still had a lot of, unfortunately, stigma in my mind about like that not being as good, or like you're not a real
Mhm.
author if you do it that way. But then when I started doing the research, I'm like, you know, like I kind of don't want to go through all these hoops that they make you go through. I'm
Right.
kind of, I don't know. That's just again my personality. I just don't like all
Yeah, I just like having
the rules
control.
and
Like
stuff.
I don't want them to tell me like, oh, you have to make this a series if I don't think it needs to be a series.
Yeah, totally. And like I also like a lot of controversial subjects. Like my first book is pretty controversial, and the sequel is kind of as well, and my third book is got some pretty big controversial topics too. So I don't want people to tell me like you gotta tone it down or whatever. Like if somebody doesn't like it, that's fine. Like I just want to write what I want to write, and I don't really care. So
Yeah,
uh,
you do get higher royalties with self-publishing because a lot of with traditionally publishing, they take a cut, then the cover designers and the editors and
mhm.
everybody else takes a cut. So then you're left with a little bit.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. I think the main benefit I would see, at least the most obvious one with traditional publishing, is that you get most of the time, like you get quite a bit of money up front, which is obviously not the case with
Yeah.
self. I mean, I haven't made like anything off of my first book. So for me, I'm not like doing it for money, although that would be really
Me.
nice if I didn't have to have
Mhm.
another job. But people who are traditionally published a lot of times get like a big sum of money up front, which would be cool. but
Yeah,
but they
that's
also
the
have to
only perk.
wait. Yeah, they
And
also have to
also
wait like 4 years.
you get more exposure because if
Yeah,
you're under a big publishing company name, then you get more exposure.
that's
But
definitely true.
yeah, I'd rather have control and be able to do what I want with my book than have more exposure, honestly. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not in it for the money, I'm not in it for the fame or whatever. Like, I just enjoy writing.
yeah, I agree. And like, I don't want to wait like 4 years for my book to come out when I'm done with it. I
Right.
I feel like I don't understand how people do that even. Like, how are you still that excited about your book 4 years later to have to, when you're already probably working on something else at that point, or multiple other books you've written by that point, and you're like, oh, now this book's coming out, so I have to go like get excited about that and promote it, but it's not like a fresh thing anymore for you.
Right.
It's just weird. I don't,
I feel like
I
it
mean,
take a
I'm,
long time for your first book, but then
mm,
if it's like a series, then they pressure you to have a book out every 4 months because that's the norm for traditionally publishing, like to have a month.
mm. Yeah, I think
I
it
could not
depends
do that.
on who it is, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's great if people want to do that route. I don't think it's like bad or anything, but
Yeah,
it's
me
just
either.
not my preference. All right, you want to do our last 15 minutes?
Yes.
Let's start now. Alright, that is time.
I got 188 and I hit my word count goal for the day.
Awesome. I got 279. So that puts me at 1209 for this session, and I wrote a little over 600 earlier, so I made my word count goal too.
I don't know how much I wrote during this session. I should have kept track of that, but I didn't. But my total for the day is 3,004.
Cool. That's awesome. Oh, sorry I missed you, Dana. Have a good night. 3K for the day is great. Hey, Destiny. You came in just at the tail end. We're about to finish up. Destiny was the winner of my giveaway for when I reached 100 subscribers, and she won a free copy of my book. So hopefully she's enjoying that.
Yay!
And Sky got 424, and Autumn got 130. Nice job, everybody. Thank you, Jasmin, for joining me this evening. Do you have anything you want to shout out or share?
We have a live stream tomorrow on Rebecca's channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe. And then Monday on Amber's channel at the same time.
Cool.
So 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Sounds good. And that is RN Simpson for Rebecca's channel and Amber Craft, or author Amber Craft for Amber's channel. So everybody can go and check them out. And I haven't put your links in the description, but I will do that now after we finish up here. So if you want to check out Jasmin's channel and subscribe to her, you can do that down below. And I think that's it. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see y'all next week, same time, for some more writing. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.